But welcome to another episode of Bussin with the Boys. I am your host, Will Compton. Taylor, we are recording. It is Monday, September 19th, the boy's birthday. It's the boy's birthday today. The vibes are high. But obviously...
Happy birthday to you.
I'll get the cake lit.
To you.
Happy birthday, dear Will.
Happy birthday
to you. That's fucking beautiful, boys. Hey, look, the cake relit too.
Let's go. Just like this year, baby. Relit.
Relit. That's what I'm talking about. The vibes are up. Maybe we win all of our bets next weekend.
Oh, you can't say the wish.
I didn't say the wish. I just said.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I won't tell you what I wish for. Just
Yeah.
like my hand movement's gonna. I just said, man.
You're on a tear.
We can talk about that. I thought it was terror. But before we jump in, it is the boy's birthday. The vibes are up, obviously. The Titans are playing the Bills tonight, so that's why Taylor's not here. But this episode is brought to you by our most trusted, greatest presenting sponsor of all time, the Chevy Silverado. Every team starts the season a little shaky. However, not the boys at Chevy. They're still undefeated. Their star player, the Silverado. According to JD Power, Chevy is the most awarded brand for new vehicle quality, and Chevy Trucks has won more new vehicle quality awards than any other brand in the world. That's some serious hardware for the boys, but champions don't stop. We know this about Chevy. They keep moving forward from the LT model to the most extreme Silverado ever, the ZR2. Chevy gave the Silverado a new interior with a larger infotainment screen and digital instrument cluster. They gave it the towing technology and up to 14 available camera views. It's always truck season here at Bussin with the Boys, but now it's also tailgate season. And what a better way to roll up to a tailgate than in a Chevy Silverado, boasting a larger, more functional bed than any other competitor. Head over to Chevy.com to learn more about the Chevy Silverado. And for those people who love to look at the data, go to JD Power. Wait. For JD Power 2022 U.S. award information. If you love the data, visit jdpower.com/awards. And if you're in the greater Nashville area, take your asses to Freeland Chevy. Those boys will hook it up. I have heard that this is fact now. They are giving away a free trailer hitch with your purchase of a magnificent Chevy Silverado, and I think they're going to throw in some merch for the boys. So, did I say magnificent? Damn, why am I missing on the words today? Magnificent. 33, man, the scary sinking a little bit more. But JP corrected me. He asked me earlier. I had said a tweet that we've been on a terror the last 3 months with Bussin with the Boys, and apparently it's terror. It's terror.
It's concerning because I know you've heard so many coaches or like teachers or parents say that to you. Will, you've been on a tear on the football field. So
I'm thinking a terror, like a terror, like a horror movie. Whatever's in your fucking way, you're taking it out. Like you guys,
going your whole life.
You've been a monster.
You've been going your whole life thinking that.
My entire life, the entirety of my life.
And it's been said to you so many times.
It's been a magnificent life. But yeah, I thought it was terror. You've been on a fucking terror. Like you've been a monster the last few months. Like that's how I've thought. I don't think that's a bad way of thinking about it either. Still.
Yeah, I just don't think it's not the proper usage.
Yeah, I've just been saying it wrong my whole life. But the vibes are up. Birthday vibes. And look, I know that the vibes could be at rock bottom. We've been hitting the sides all the way down the rock bottom. With the firing of Scott Frost, which we'll get into. The Raiders being up 20-0. The Bet the Bus lock of the week, I had it in caps lock with all the Raiders emojis going on. And it's saved in my drafts right now because I thought that we were going undefeated with the Bet the Bus lock of the week. And for those that catch this Bussin with the Boys episode and not familiar with what I'm saying, Bet the Bus lock of the week, we now do a show called Bet the Bus that drops every Friday. Could be moving to Thursday. We don't know yet. Time will tell. but where we give our picks, or I give my picks as Payoff Willie. And which, by the way, in the NFL, I had a good weekend. I had a good slate. What was my record?
You go five.
Was it 5-1-1, 6-1-1?
You got a push too, right?
That's what that one on the back end. I had one push, but your boy was the back door with the Miami Dolphins. Who's that? What's that coach's name? Coach McDaniel?
Yeah, Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel. I think he's a stud. That's kind of who I'm betting. That's who I'm betting on. But that came back. But the Raiders bet the bus lock of the week failed me. We'll get into the Raiders stuff. Michigan's been lighting it up. I got to cover the boys for Taylor since he's not here. Tennessee, we got to talk about Tennessee. They've been lighting it up too. And because we are going to the Florida at Tennessee game this weekend, what is that, September 24th? We'll be there. Florida at Tennessee. The Barstool College Football Show will be there at The Hill. When does that show take place? You guys know, an hour?
Saturday morning,
an hour before kickoff, but the vibes will be fucking electric. I'm gonna do a wing eating contest against Billy Football from Macrodosing, Bussin with the Boys versus Macrodosing. I'll be doing a wing eating contest. I don't know what they'll have in store. Those things get hype, and also the college football show is now going there. So all the college football shows in the world is going to Florida at Tennessee. We'll be doing interviews there. It's gonna be electric.
Can we talk about the interviews?
Jack, so that's you guys know Jack in the back. My man is absolutely sick that he has a wedding to be in, and the camera's back on him right now, his head's down. One of the biggest Tennessee fans that you will see. The way he argues about Tennessee Titan football, you guys know he's the same way about Tennessee Vols football. He went to school there, tried out for the football team. Unfortunately, had to pivot and go to intramurals.
Still got a championship. I got the shirt to prove it, bro.
But he is so down bad. One, because we chose the Florida at Tennessee game. This is preseason. And he's like, man, if they start off hot, I'm going to be sick, because he knows the vibes. He went to the Ole Miss game with us last year when we brought the bus out and did a tailgate there. And now that Tennessee is firing on all cylinders, and you guys look fucking good. You guys look fucking good. Questionable schedule this far. However, that's how it's just like the Michigan Wolverines. That's how you want to take care of business. Like, you want to be hanging 60, north of 60 up on these boys. But firing. Florida's undefeated, right?
No, they're 2-1.
Oh, got that one wrong. But Florida coming into town for a rivalry, they're saying, like, I'm hearing this is going to be the biggest game since, like, some game dated back to 2016.
I don't think College Game Day has been in Knoxville since 2016. So
there you go.
We got Barstool.
Dude, it is going to be fucking. As a matter of fact, it's so big. And there's people like, where's the bus going to be at? We're actually, unfortunately, not taking the bus because it's apparently supposed to be so fucking packed. There's not really a location that's ideal for us to place it, because we're going to be doing, I'm doing interviews in the morning. And then we're involved in the college football show as well with Barstool. That's at the Hill. The location at the Hill is not big enough to house the bus as well. So if we had the bus, where was the spot? It was like Beans or something. Cool Beans. We had the bus at Cool Beans last year, then went to the college football show late. Like, there's way too much going on to have the bus there. So the bus will not be present. However, the boys, myself, JP, Blas, we will all be there, while Garrett and Jack have to be involved in a wedding, which, dude, get the fuck out of here with fall weddings. Like, can't we just not agree that nobody should be doing fucking fall weddings? Like, how stupid. It's football season. And, like, people can act like that. It's not a huge deal. Yeah, the fall weather's gorgeous. If everybody, say you have football fans and everybody happens to be on some kind of bye week and you finagle a fall wedding, the vibes are up for a fall wedding. However, it's like, no one's seen what my man Jack has to go through. I'm going to a wedding in a couple weeks. Thankfully, we don't have to, there's nothing like going on. We had to actually turn something down for Bussin because of that wedding. But it's just like, it's like having a wedding on a holiday. Just don't fucking do it. Don't have weddings on a holiday. Don't have weddings during football season. You got something, JP?
Don't have it on a holiday unless it's New Year's Eve. I think New Year's Eve wedding is acceptable.
Let's think about it. I've never heard that either. I do want to think about it. It's easy to judge and quick. It's easy to react. I don't want to. So let's think about it. Why do you say that?
So I'm going to one this coming New Year's Eve, and I was upset at first. I'm like, why are we doing
You're a
this?
glass half full guy. So
Yeah, so I'm like, let me actually think about this. Usually New Year's Eve, you go somewhere, you have to pay like $150 to go do whatever. All you can drink, all you can eat. If you want to go travel somewhere, you got to stay in the hotel,
Mhm.
whatever. You have a wedding, free food, free alcohol. This wedding's in Nashville. Don't have to go anywhere. It's in downtown Nashville. Shout out Carter and Kat. But it's a free holiday.
and everybody that you would love to spend the holiday with, you're all there.
Exactly.
That's a good point. I feel like I feel like it's contingent on the location. Because you could say not traveling, but say the wedding is somewhere else where you got to pay for a flight or something or travel. But
Also,
you got a
though,
case.
New Year's though is got to be the most overrated holiday in existence. We've all had one or two New Year's that just blew our minds, and we all are trying to relive that night every single year for eternity. I swear New Year's Eve blows. Just like JP's saying, it's expensive. Everywhere's crowded. It's this like real big anticipation of like, we have to have the best night of our lives, and it never lives up to it except for that one or two times in your whole life. So when you have already a scheduled thing, you know what you're doing, you know where you're going to be, there's nothing else on the board. I think that takes a lot of stress out of trying to make it such a big grand night.
That's a phenomenal fucking point. I think you guys are. Yeah, I'm buying into this. What I'll say about it being the most overrated, because I can get on board with that. I agree. Is like when we're growing up, right? We're usually in Christmas break. So New Year's is always like a positive holiday because it comes after Christmas. You don't want the vibes to die from Christmas and having the entire holiday season from November and December. It's your last thing before you go back to school. And I feel like no matter what, you're always trying to like make it something happen because you're not trying to just have such a hangover from the holiday season. That we're always trying to like, New Year's Eve is alive and well. What are we doing for New Year's? And now that we're older and there is no like Christmas break, like I do think we look back and we're like, yo, why do we get so fucking hype over New Year's?
We got to stay up late.
Yeah. You get to stay up. Now it's like you go to bed. Like I don't remember the last time I've stayed up to actually catch the ball drop or New Year's go down. I can't remember the last time I kind of stayed up. I think
You old.
I am 33 now. But you guys will get there. How old are you?
27.
Yeah, you'll
coming
get
up on
there.
28.
Brother, you'll get there. You guys will all fucking get there.
I'm there.
Yeah, Bloss. Well, I was gonna say, where do you?
I usually have to work, so I'm up.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like New Year's isn't like that unless you're right. I'm more buying into the New Year's wedding because you're right. Everything's planned out. Like it's established. You don't have to put in work. Like when you're thinking about going to all these like black tie events, like that's kind of fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Unless you're like a single person trying to go figure it out there, like
Even
that's when the vibes could be up.
Person, you know, if you go home alone that night and then you wake up on January 1st with already the regrets of like your resolution setting in, it's awful, bro. I've been there, and yeah, it's a mega bonk moment.
Like,
And dude,
God, I got so horny for a week straight just to go home by myself.
but yeah, to circle back around, don't have a fucking fall wedding. I love you, Chase Smith and Jordan Goshawk, but they know this is killing a lot of our vibes. But our wedding's in Lake Tahoe, so in retrospect, it's going to be an amazing time. We're gonna have an awesome, weekend out of it, but we will be missing you guys in Knoxville. I hope y'all carry the
I'm
vibe.
sure it's going to be a great weekend. Just know that we're going to have pregame sideline passes. We're probably going to have box seats. We're going to be at the Florida game. We're interviewing people that you're going to want to kill yourself about, and you won't get to shake his
Can we please
hand.
talk about who we're interviewing?
No, we can't. We can't.
The
It's a surprise.
audience, everyone in this bus besides me knows who they're interviewing, and they
Because,
won't
Jack,
tell me.
you are a massive Vols fan, and it does pain me to see you in this pain.
Is it the one guy? Is it the guy?
I don't know. I don't know who your
There
one guy
is
is.
one
I'm
guy.
not, listen, I'm not gonna look at you. I'm not tipping you off. I'm not gonna look at you. I'm not tipping you off. Like we're not talking about it.
All right.
You'll get to see next week whenever it fucking drops.
JP goes, you'll know. You'll be scheduling it.
Yeah, exactly. But I just again, college football's going. The Barstool College Football Show is gonna be there. We're gonna
If the Vols win, it really won't even matter for me. Like I'm gonna be through the roof regardless. If
I hope they do.
lose, it'll be it might be okay too. I don't know.
End of the happen. By the time the Vols Florida game ends, we will be at the altar. So we'll be finding out, standing up there.
I will say this, Gary can tell you, the Vols Tennessee Lightning shirts, they're in production.
Wow.
They're in production. And we got a fucking pick earlier with all the new, I'm not wearing the hat, but all the different colorways of the boys diamond hat.
We got like probably
Buddy.
5 or 6.
Yeah, we got a lot of different colorways coming out. Like,
Buckle up.
We're guys, like we're diving into more fan bases. Like, be on the lookout for all of our new merch. It's at the store.barstoolsports.com/Bussin' with the boys.
Correct.
Okay, murdered that at little hit an ad read. Okay, with that, we will hit another ad read as we continue to preview what's to come in this episode. Shout out Roman Swipes. No free shout outs to the boys at Roman. They're convenient, over-the-counter wipes that are clinically proven to help you last longer in bed. Whether they're in their birthday suit, whatever the case may be, and you're a little rocked up, and as Jack mentioned, maybe it's New Year's, maybe you're preparing for New Year's, and you're very excited, but you want to last longer, Roman Swipes are the way to do it. They're uniquely formulated to reduce overstimulation without eliminating sensation altogether. In a 2019 study, they were proven to increase time to orgasm by more than 4 times. To use, just remove the disposable swipe from its discreet pocket-sized pack, wipe on the most sensitive parts of your little boys downstairs, and allow to dry for about 5 minutes. Because if you go before 5 minutes and you do a little pregame with your lady, you know, some stuff can go down, her mouth can be numb, and then it's not good for anybody involved unless they like that sort of thing. They are safe, effective, and no prescription is needed. All swipe orders include free 2-day shipping and arrive in an unmarked package. So if you live at your parents' house and you get these things shipped to you, it's very discreet. It's black labeled. They have no clue what it is. Try today for as little as $2.75 per swipe. I don't know about you, but $2.75 is well worth a longer lasting 4X time in the sack. Try Swipes today with a special offer just for our listeners. Just for all you hornballs out there. Get 20% off your first order at GetRoman.com/BussinBoys today. This is an exclusive 20% off only for you guys. So to get the 20% off, go to GetRoman.com/BussinBoys. That's pretty, I mean, it's a good little ad read to just be in sequence with the episode. If you're watching right now, drop a comment, say the vibes are up, whatever it is. Cancel fall weddings. Happy birthday to the boy.
Bonk
in the comments. Whatever it is, drop a fucking comment. Yeah, drop a mega bonk. But all right, let's jump into football. We're gonna cover football. We're gonna cover the weekend. We're gonna cover some questions from the internet that you guys left on Twitter. The vibes are gonna be up. But Nebraska fired Scott Frost. Let's address this. Yeah, Chins. R.I.P. to Chins. Like, the D coordinator. God. Can we get a moment of silence for Chins, Scott Frost? What we thought we thought we were getting ourselves into when hiring Scott Frost 5 years ago when he inherited the worst debacle of all time in Mike Riley. But let's just get a moment of silence for what we thought could have been. Thanks, boys. It's been tough. Like, obviously gosh. We had Chins and Frost on the Bussin' Spring Tour. Like, look at us. And we were living high.
People are talking about a Bussin' curse, but it's not me. It's not me.
We can address the Bussin' curse. Look, I think what was confusing about it all is we struggled on special teams and closing out games last year. The refs stole a few games from us last year, but just closing out games, making them close. I think our streak of 13 games by losing by single digits was snapped over the weekend by Oklahoma. Holy fuck, we can get into that game too. It was close for the first couple series. There's a lot of hope. I swear to God, I was listening on YouTube TV to the game. I heard our first 3 and out. I was like, oh, I'm fucking flexing in the car. And my wife's like, watch the car. The baby's in the back. And I was up. I was like, man, I'm telling you, we might sneak this game. We might fucking sneak this game. Yes, I had him at +10, but I thought we might sneak this game as a full win. Then we go down post, bomb, touchdown. When I say, I'm reliving it right now, I'm getting chills. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you. And then reality set in. They scored, then they scored again. And then I was like, it's all good. We need the over to hit because I'm on the over this game. Because we're gonna be all right. We can score points. I don't think we scored again until the fourth quarter. However, we shut out the number 6 team in the country in the fourth quarter, which I think you can hang your hat on going into the bye week, kind of regrouping, rebuilding. Obviously, we had to let Chins go, which sucks, man, because we had a good defense last year and it looked up. We're young in a couple spots. We lost some seniors. Like, fuck. I know I'm kind of making excuses. I'm just trying to figure out, like, where in the fuck do I go from here? I am on record saying that we were going 11-1. And as much as I fuck around, and yes, I was fucking around, but I also, like, there was a big part of me that fucking believed me. Like, I believed it. I was like, yo, this is year 5. Frost is on the hot seat. This is fucking it. Like, this is all 5 years. Frosty, this is it, brother. And we're all fucking backing you. And when we had that tough game against, we lost to Northwestern. And I will convince myself of anything. We were over in Ireland. Like, they're young. Like, we'll figure it out. That was week 0. Then we had a couple close ones with those shitty ass teams. And then it's like, all right, wait, we didn't have close ones. We lost to Georgia Southern. What the fuck am I talking about? It was a close loss. But I was like, it's just, I don't know. I don't fucking know. We made the right move firing Frost. And it's painful because I think what makes it painful is everybody was backing him. Everybody wanted him to be successful. You hear a lot of the shit going on out there about how the way he's like, there's rumors that are floating around the Scott Frost time being a Husker. And it's just like, you want to believe in the best. You want to think that it's going to get turned around, especially because, again, we've wanted Frost in that building since I said it in my video last week, but since I was there, you always heard rumors of, like, we struggled on offense with, like, back when I was young, and then at times with Taylor Martinez, but a lot of people thought of some of the play calling. And everybody would always talk about the OC from Oregon, Scott Frost. He played here. I didn't know who he was at the time. But then when you go through Mike Riley and he just fucking takes us to just hell. Like, he's like the coach that's like, he entrusts 17 to 22-year-old kids, hey, it's okay, just do the right thing as far as, like, culture building. We were garbage. I'm talking about guys doing other way. I've heard stories like garbage. Ikers, the chancellor, like the people there pushed out Osborne and Pelini, got in Mike Riley, took us to the bottom of the ocean, and then we get Scott Frost. Like, he comes off an undefeated season with UCF, right? It was UCF who he claims the national title with. And we finally get him here, and, like, you want the best. You kind of know it's going to be a few years of rebuilding. Last year 4, when you lose to every team by that marginally, and a lot of top 10 teams in the country, and there's literally, like, I shout out from the mountaintop, best 3-win team of all time in college football. I mean, I still believe that. I think that'll stand the test of time forever. But you go into this year and you're thinking, all right, boys, we can play with everybody. Now it's 4 years have passed. We got all of our guys in. We got our systems in place. We got X, Y, and Z. It's all coming together. Get some transfers, and we just fucking lose, man. I think it's tough. It's fucking tough. I don't know who we bring in. I don't know who my ideal candidate is. Just because I don't, like, live in the world of, like, what coaches. Like, yeah, Urban Meyer was there over the weekend for Fox, the college football show that Fox had that came to town, and he fed into it. Like, Urban. Urban. He was feeding in. I think he said we were going to win the game. He's saying they're the best fans in the country. I mean, everybody's on their knees for Urban Meyer. But do you want to bring in the baggage that kind of comes in with Urban Meyer? Because there is some baggage out there. However, do you want to look past it and get to winning right now, right away? Because people believe that Urban can do that. At Nebraska, you have everything you need as a football program to succeed. You have the resources, you have the people, you have the fan base, you have fucking everything. You have the money, you have all. I mean, we just bought out Scott Frost for $15 million and didn't wait 2 weeks to get it down to 7. You have all the support in the world. You have fucking everything. The facilities are building a magnificent facility that's coming in next springtime. However, you got to figure out the recruiting game hardcore. I think you need somebody sexy to come in, or you need somebody that's proven to build a culture that could be living in that country, whether they're in the Big 12, the Big 10. Like, I know they talk about Campbell from Iowa State. You talk about Kleiman from Kansas State. They're recruiting the same guys, the same kids, and now they're going to I know it's hard to argue a better school, but a better resourced school at Nebraska with those coaches coming there, going from K-State to Nebraska, from Iowa State to Nebraska. Yes, you can argue that Kansas State and Iowa State are both better football teams in Nebraska the past several years. But it's like culturally, these guys who build culture, recruiting the same guys, do you move them into like give them all the resources in the world? You're going to get a big payday coming to Nebraska to try and rebuild that thing. Or do you go and get somebody sexy? Like, I mean, I don't know if you can say Urban Meyer's sexy, but his coaching record in college ball sexy. Do you go after like a Deion Sanders, a big splash play, try to throw in, go after Deion for recruiting? Like you got to make a big move. Or do you go after Nick Saban?
No. But
Just throw that. I'm really like saying some real shit and then just say something stupid.
you're on to, I think, the right thing. And we heard Hype will say it when we had him on, was he gets to use the brand of the University of Tennessee to recruit, but put his new spin on it. And I think
Right.
Nebraska has to do that.
Right.
They've been keeping it in-house. So, yeah, maybe go out, find somebody random, and just use that in. But you got to make it new.
But they got a proven track record with their coaching history, whether they're at smaller schools. Again, climbing at Kansas State, he's won 4 natties with North Dakota State. Campbell's done a hell of a job turning around Iowa State, who's a competitive team, and they're not a good fucking, like, it's Iowa State. You know what I mean? No disrespect to the Cyclones out there, but fuck. We lost them 1 year. It was like fucking 9-7. We had like 5 turnovers. I want to say 3 of them came inside the 5-yard line. I'm making some of that up, but a lot of that's true. Like, that's based on a true story.
What's your record prediction?
For Nebraska,
Yeah.
pull up their schedule.
Hey, y'all also might hire Will Muschamp.
Could we?
I could see that happening low key.
But,
I don't know if you'd want to.
But Muschamp, he's at Florida, right?
Georgia.
Georgia? I mean, we're like, come on, you're winning at Georgia. Like, I was saying Stoops, but you got to look at it with Stoops. If you're winning like close 8-9 games a year at Kentucky, like you're walking on water there. You're not going to, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're in the top 10. Like, you're not going to leave an incredible spot just to go take a chance at a place that chews you up and spits you fucking out. Like, when Nebraska's fan base is done with you, you're fucking, we need your head on a stake. Potentially, yeah. Yeah. Indiana. So we got a bye week. Again, we're going to sit back. Yeah. There's going to be options out there. Again, we got the bag. Like, we got the bag. We can back up the Brinks truck. It's like we need to make a very good calculated decision. I think we have time to be patient with it, to find the right guy. But looking at the schedule, regroup. Again, take a big look in the fucking mirror. It's salvage whatever we can, Husker Nation. We're in the mode of we got to salvage, and we've got to see the fucking glass half full. Listen, we can give up. We can give up the promise of, like, you know, the Big Ten championship and shit like that, but there's still shit to play for. And I don't know about you, but I'm not gonna fucking roll over dead like a bunch of you pussies out there are doing. Indiana, W. Rutgers, W. Purdue, I'll be realistic for you. Let's say loss. That's a loss. Illinois, again, up in the air. I like what fucking, what's the head coach's name? He came from Wisconsin, Bielma, right?
Brett
Bielma. Yeah.
This is Illinois.
Yeah, he's the head coach of Illinois. Again, he's somebody who builds culture. Maybe you look at Bielma. I don't know. Illinois, that'll be a close game, but you know I'm riding with my fucking dogs. W. Minnesota, they were tough last year. Are they winning games this year? Is Minnesota winning games? Is the Gophers making it happen? Jack, are you searching?
Yeah, I'm over. Well, I was looking at Indiana's because you were quick off the jump with Indiana, but Indiana also just beat Wisconsin this weekend by 3, and they're number 1 in the Big Ten East.
Okay, maybe I spoke a little too soon. Maybe I spoke too soon. We're not cutting that. We're riding with Indiana. Maybe Wisconsin's having a fucking down year.
That is 3 now.
Okay. All right, we'll say loss to Minnesota. Maybe that'll be my get back for like an Indiana or something like that. Who do we have after that? Michigan. Like, okay. Maybe I need to do some kind of deal with Taylor that maybe we get the points for the Bussin Bowl. And by the way, like, we're making the trophy. The trophy's gonna be fucking massive. And I don't care if we're standing there holding our dicks and we're off campus somewhere, because They might not let us like bring our bus and sit there on campus, but we will be out there rallying the troops. So if you're in Nebraska and you're thinking about going to the Michigan game, the boys will be there and the vibes will be up. We'll have Michigan tees, we'll have Nebraska tees. Look, I'm rooting for Michigan when we're not playing, when you guys are not playing Nebraska. I'm now rooting for Tennessee. Like, I need something to be up about, but also people think I curse every fucking team I touch, so I'm scared to even say that. But listen, Bussin' Bull's alive and well. We're getting the trophy made, and whether or not Taylor and I have to do some formality on the next week of Bussin' with the Boys, and I hand him the trophy because I will. Right now, I'm saying like, yeah, that's gonna be something to play for. I think it's gonna be a very close game. Michigan might edge us out on that game. God, it's so hard for me to even say it. But maybe I just hand Taylor the trophy, and then when we go on the spring tour, like we get it shipped and let our people in house. Hey, we're giving you this trophy. Fucking put it wherever you want. But we're gonna finagle this thing somehow. Like the Bussin' Bull's alive and well. What's up?
So maybe we just go.
Yeah, Chandler's up. The Chandler find Poirier. It's all fuck Poirier over here on Bussin' with the Boys. Wisconsin, again, it sounds like they're having a down year, so I'm gonna go ahead and claim a victory. Iowa, this is a big rivalry. So right now, what are we? We are 1, 2, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3. And I think we're going to finish out the year and go 5-3 against Iowa, which gives us 6 wins. That's bowl eligibility, right? The boys are going to be bowling. I'm telling you, boys are going to be bowling. I don't care what bowl it is, but we're going to be fucking up because December is a big developmental month for, like, you know, the guys, the boys. So I think we're going to be bowling this year. We're going to finish out the year 5-3. I think there's a lot to look forward to, boys. JP, please stop. With that, has that been 15 minutes, Blossy? It hasn't? All right, not yet?
It's been 17.
All right, here we go. We interrupt this episode to bring you Whistle Pig Whiskey. Shout out the boys up in Shoreham, Vermont that make the best 100% rye whiskey in their backyard on their beautiful 300 acres that we visited. And it is absolutely iconic. Bonnie and Clyde, Butch Cassidy and Sundance, Brady and Gronk, Will and Taylor. The next legendary duo is Whistle Pig's Piggyback 100% Rye and their new Piggyback 100 Proof Bourbon. We don't have the bourbon yet, and the boys, we get to release their bourbon, which I'm fired the fuck up about. Listen, we keep it real with you guys. Whistle Pig matched their Piggyback 100% Rye with their Piggyback 100 Proof Bourbon Whiskey. Piggyback 100 Proof Bourbon stands taller and bolder than the rest of the competition out there. No other bourbon and rye duo on the market offers this big of age, proof, and mash for a full send on all flavors. Piggyback 100% Rye is the savory side of whiskey, while Whistle Pig's Piggyback 100 Proof Bourbon is the sweeter side of whiskey. You really can't have one on your bar without the other. We enjoy ours in a maple cocktail. Remember when we made those maple old fashions out there? Our maple cocktail, the Piggyback 100% Rye, is perfect in a maple old fashioned, and the Piggyback 100 Proof Bourbon is for those citrusy cocktails like a maple bourbon sour. 100 for all for 100. Piggyback 100% Rye and 100 Proof Bourbon is 100% the good shit. Get your bottles at shop.whistlepigwhiskey.com or at a local retailer. Guys, the vibes are going to be up when this bourbon comes out because we fucking picked it out. And you guys got to back us. This is big. Like, this is something to look up to. This is something to look forward to. Yeah. Bussin' Bull's alive and well. We talked about Tennessee. We talked about Michigan. Listen, Michigan is absolutely disintegrating everybody out there. It's like the Avengers movie where people are just fucking floating away. Yeah, every team that comes in, hey, coach, I don't feel so well. Harbaugh might be fully back with the boys. Again, I love everything they got going on in Michigan. I'm ready for them to like play some teams because again, it's a very soft schedule, similar to Tennessee. However, I do not want to disrespect the boys' win against, was it Pitt?
Yeah.
Look, I've been having some good times watching some ball on the weekends. Like, I'm getting in the culture. I see why everybody lives and dies by the sword. Like, I will watch a game and people will be in the first quarter talking about we fucking suck. And I'm just like, yo, why do people live this way? Like, there's so much ball left. It's like, you know, I saw somebody talking about how bad the Dolphins were for the entire first half. Justified. But now it's like, you know, you see what happened in the second half. They came back and bounced back. Look, the Raiders lost. We blew a 20-0 lead. I don't fucking know. People like, is it the same old Raiders? Absolutely not. Like it's again, I started to get in a back and forth with one person in particular. I think it was about the Titans because you see everybody coming for Todd Downing's head, and you just hate the fucking negative vibes after one goddamn week. I can't stand it. Yeah, that's the player side coming out of me because people harness all of their fandom that they've lived and dreamed for since the 80s, 90s. We've been watching this team since the very beginning, and you don't understand because you're a player and you don't understand the X, Y, and Z. They take decades of fandom into one game. Now, there's a lot of season left. Like, say your team ends up doing a losing season. The fact that you still take decades of your fandom and bring it into, like, they do this to me every fucking year. Like, it's listen, we can go back and forth on it, but here's where I'm going with it. Because here's why a tough start shouldn't matter, especially in the NFL. I think the tough thing that we do is we're so bought into our college teams. I just pointed Jack. We're so bought into and I'm the same way. Like, I love Nebraska. I want them to win. But you get so bought in on Saturday to your college teams where every game absolutely matters because rankings and everything else. NFL, it's not the case. Like, we went to the playoffs. We were in a win and in game being like 8-7-1 one year in Washington. We made the playoffs. You know, they make fun of the NFC East some years, the NFC least. Going into the playoffs at 9-7 with momentum. Like, I was laughing last week. I got the NFL Plus where you're able to watch the old games. I was literally watching our old playoff game against Green Bay in 2015 or 16. And JP's trying to work, and I just feel like one of those old heads, like looking at their old tape. I'm like, see if Deshaun Jackson reaches for the pylon here, we're up. We score here. We don't settle for a field goal. And then if Aaron Rodgers caught us in a substitution, snapped it, penalty, throws a bomb, we were going to go 3-and-out on those guys. And I'm like, we turn that around. We're in the game. We might beat Green Bay. And I'm like living in the past, dude. It was fucking, yeah. JP's just has a computer. He looks over. He's like, yeah, man, that's crazy. But all I'm saying is there's so much season left in the NFL, and the NFL is the fucking NFL. Shit can change in an instant in the NFL. People can look at like the Titans-Bills game is a bad example because by the time people listen to this, the game will already happen. But you look at who is somebody. You look at LA. Falcons traveled out to LA. Won that one +10. And you just think that the Rams are going to dog walk the Falcons, or the Ravens looking like a good ball club, and then the Dolphins end up coming back. The 49ers, massive exclamation point win with Trey Lance going down, Jimmy Garoppolo coming in, and they won like 20. What'd you guys win by, Bloss? I know you know.
21, I think it was, because they ended up winning 27-7 or 27-6.
Yeah, like a massive win when your quarterback goes down. After that, you guys lost to.
The narrative totally changed too. Everybody was off the Jimmy Garoppolo boat, and now everybody's back.
Yeah,
in the
now
the
fucking quarterback drama. I mean, we're going into a trilogy with the Trey Lance Garoppolo drama, quarterback drama in San Francisco, in San Francisco going into next year. But you just never know in the NFL, dude. You truly don't ever fucking know. Like these are grown ass men, they're professionals. And I think what always pisses me off is like disrespecting the work that's put in from a new team that's separated from like, an old team. Like the Titans team this year is way different from the Titans team last year. And like you can go back and forth and talk about Downing, or you don't have a receiver that takes the top off like some flashy player. You can go on and on about stuff, but the way that you prepare in the NFL is so marginal when it comes to Sundays. I mean, look at the Lions right now. Like, look at a lot of different teams. You just have no fucking clue. And I think when everybody's ready to sail them off into the sea and fucking kill them and say like, all right, on to next year, especially when it comes to like the Titans after week 1, it's just like, I don't know. It's bullshit to me because I guess for me, I've been in those, like all those meeting rooms where how Vrabel as the head coach paints and builds the culture with all those guys, like how all those guys are dialed in on specific things within the game plan and within the game. It's like, for instance, again, we don't know what's going to happen with the Bills game. When you guys are listening to this, the results will already be figured out. However, just going after week 1, when people were absolutely killing Downing for that 3rd and 1 call, and I was like in the same boat. Like, yeah, why are we running that tight end sweep when you have the king in the backfield and you can just you can just feed that man. Like, that's why you pay him the money. That's why he's like an offensive MVP in this league. But also, like, when you hear the presser and you hear them talk about they saw something in the game plan, they saw something in the preparation. And like Taylor and I had this same conversation, and Taylor was like, yo, if I just make that block, I know it looked like there was 4 dudes coming in the backfield line of play, but if Taylor makes his block, the line of scrimmage gets established and it's a one-on-one tackle with the cornerback. However, respected Downing coming out, taking all the bullets, taking all the heat, because everyone just screams at their mountain on the top of their head, bro, just fire Downing and do X, Y, and Z and do all these things. Time will tell. There's always a lot of ball left. There's always a lot of ball left. People can talk. People can say they were right. Let's say they have a bad year and he ends up getting canned or something like that. All I'm saying is I hate hitting the panic button and seeing the panic happen immediately after 1 week or immediately after 2 games. Like the Raiders, Jack, or go ahead, Jack, because I do got to get into the Raiders game.
No, I'm with you on this, and I think the AFC South is going to be like that NFC East division this year. Like whoever wins the AFC South is going to win like 9-7. So the AFC South is a very scrappy, low kind of
wide open division.
Yeah. I mean, we saw what happened to the Colts this week. I mean, Houston kind of held in with Denver. Yeah, I know. And I'm getting to the Jags. Duval, I mean, they handled business, bro. And so I'm with you on not hitting the panic button, even if, and hopefully we do not lose tonight, and this will come out tomorrow. So the, you know, like you said, the score's already there. We don't need to hit the panic button, even if we go 0-2. Our division is so straightforward that we have a shot no matter what, even if we lose the first 4 games of the year.
2019, 2-4. Rattle off the back end of the schedule and you go to the AFC Championship. What do you got going on? You got something going on, JP. But rattle off. You start off 2-4. Playing the Kansas City Chiefs going into the bye week. The Chiefs ended up winning the Super Bowl that year. You're playing the Chiefs going into the bye week. And you end up beating the Chiefs, and then you rattle off the back end of your schedule, and you go in and go on a run to the AFC. All I'm saying is I hate hitting the panic button, especially in the NFL. Raiders, starting off 0-2. I think they're still a good fucking football team. They got the weapons. They were up 20-0. You just got to watch the tape. You got to take accountability. You got to understand where you went wrong, how you could have stepped on their throat and won in the second half. You let them get back in it. Kyler Murray is a fucking video game on a couple of those 2-point conversions coming back. I think a very questionable call on the holding on 4th down when he ended up making that play, or when Max almost sacked him. Max is a fucking baller, by the way. That dude is just relentless all 4 quarters plus overtime. Shout out to the boy Max. But again, I know Raiders fans feel down bad. It's like the same old Raiders, same thing. Listen, it's a completely different regime, completely different weapons. Yeah, do you want to feed Devontae Adams the ball more than 2 times a game? But yes, probably. I didn't get to watch the game. But yeah, I'm assuming you want to feed the best ball player, or like the best wide receiver on ball, more than a couple times. But I didn't get to see the game. I didn't get to watch what's happening. I trust the boy Derek Carr. The dude throws for 4,000 plus per year. He's got the weapons. And God, I hate that my man Hunter Renfrow fumbled the ball twice late in the game. The most dependable motherfucker on the planet. He's built like a Chevy. And Isaiah Simmons, his old teammate, got him a couple times with the fumbles. And I know my man's crucifying himself. It's important that we keep his spirits up because the dude's a dog. He's a baller. We were up on the Cardinals 20-0. We lost to the Chargers last week by 5 points and had like 4 or 5 turnovers. And the Chargers are a good football team. They look better than the Chiefs in that game on Thursday night, even though the Chiefs ended up winning. Like, dude, in the NFL, anything can fucking happen, but there's zero panic in Las Vegas right now. I swear to God, these boys are a good ball club. I never played for McDaniels, but since he comes from the Belichick regime and talking to all the boys, Darren Waller, Foster, like, and hey, shout out to boy Foster for getting on that ball the first time when Hunter fumbled it, like just ripping that motherfucker out of there. Because I got to catch the end of the game. But Foster, like all the guys that have came through and talked about McDaniels and the culture and everything else, like, we're not hitting the panic button on the Raiders. The Raiders are going to bounce back. Listen, we got to stop putting the Packers and the Bears on primetime television because it's the same story every fucking time. They drag the Bears. Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. Ayahuasca celebration. Holy fuck, that was amazing. Whoever thought of that, shout out to the boy in the locker room that thought of that, and shout out for Aaron Rodgers. Like, just shout out to everybody playing into it. Aaron Jones, stud. Holy fuck. I had to play him against fantasy too. We'll see what happens tonight. But the Packers look good last night. They're going to figure out the running game. Their defense looks good. Those linebackers in the middle, Campbell and Quay Walker he's from Georgia, right? Dogs, bro. Their back end looks good. Their front seven's looking good. The Packers could be back in it. I love the NFC North this year. The Lions, Packers, and Vikings, no disrespect to the Bears, but you guys, it is what it is. Like, you can't have 4 teams be good in the division. But the Packers, Lions, and Vikings, dude, it's hard to not root for the Lions. Like, listen, like obviously watching Hard Knocks, but not only that, like the Cowboys had Hard Knocks last year, and everybody wasn't pulling for the Cowboys just because you saw Hard Knocks. But you just see the foundation and the culture that's been built over the last couple of years with the Lions and how much the players buy in. We had Hawkinson on, great podcast to go listen to. But it's hard to not root for them. They've hung up 30 plus both games. I think they're in it. You see their post game in the locker room, like it's just juicy. You see the boys are truly fired up and genuinely playing for each other. Like whoever's speaking, they're like, hey, quiet, lifting that dude up. Like sometimes in cultures when you're not the best team, you kind of feel weird speaking up. Or if somebody speaks up, you're kind of like, oh, this guy's fucking speaking up. Not the Lions, like they look together all around. I think the Vikings are going to be, again, it's tough to say that because this game hasn't been played tonight. But Vikings, Packers, and Lions, I think we're in for a nice treat in the NFC North. Bengals, do we hit the panic button with the Bengals? I mean, good God. You lose to Dallas, and I had tweeted it yesterday, but Andy Dalton's cousins out there, backups, just wheeling and dealing. Dak Prescott on the hot seat? That's just for a clip. That's just for the trailer. That's just for clicks right there. No, but what a bounce back by Dallas. Again, they look fucking shitty in the first week. They didn't score.
Everybody was ruling them out.
Done. I ruled them out.
Week 17, eliminated from play.
yeah, bro, it's so funny. And I do love living into the roller coaster of it all because Twitter or like the internet is so fucking funny with all this. But Cowboys, another great example. You got the defending Super Bowl runner-ups, and you know they beat them in Dallas, like a big win without their head man at quarterback. Tom Brady, what's something else? Yo, that fight between Mike Evans, holy fuck. Yo, like out of nowhere off the top rope, but I didn't realize he did the same thing a couple years ago. Like, there's like, I don't like as a player, you see something like that, you're like, yo, what the fuck was that? The dude comes out of nowhere and literally he's trying to take my man's soul from him with that shove.
Well, did you see the clip of like Bruce Arians says something to Mike Evans like right before, and then Mike Evans rushed out?
No, I didn't see that because I saw Bruce Arians is looking at getting fined now. Like,
right,
bro, he's not
because
even
of
a
that.
coach.
He was
Like,
he was down on the sideline. Mike Evans was like walking off, not paying attention. Arians says something to him. Mike Evans just takes off.
like, hey, you gonna let? Yeah, you're out there chirping, but that's all. It's just a shove that comes out of there. Holy fuck, this man's trying to really fight. He shoves and then starts turning because he's ready for whatever smoke's fucking coming. You want Mike Evans on your football team. Like, that motherfucker's ready to die for the boys.
And Leonard Fournette in there too. I just keep thinking of his
Blaney,
clip.
bro.
He's saying like, I'll fight 95 of them. What's the worst they gonna do? Kill me?
Yeah, you know those boys are about it, man. I love the Bucks, bro, but that is so funny. You know, Arians was probably you gonna let him do that to your quarterback, and just out off the top ropes, watch out, just comes in and twice now with Lattimore. Lattimore's a dog too, but Brady's also now taking Wednesdays off. Did you see that? Wednesday's the most important day of the week for practicing. He's taking off. I mean, I don't, dude. It's Tom Brady. The motherfucker's a go. He's like, what is he? 40, mid 40s. Like, A, you don't play football this long. B, you're not the GOAT playing football this long. C, like you're not still playing at the highest level, playing. Like Tom Brady's the only one that lives in this world that he's in. Like nobody really, like what, Adam Vinatieri, the kicker, I guess you can just say a GOAT that played for that long. Like, but Tom Brady is really the only person that understands like what is happening with his life, how much ball he knows, how much ball he's probably forgotten than anybody in the league. And still smarter than everybody else. Like,
You've seen that thing where they break down each decade.
he's a stud, bro. Like, he's like,
In every decade.
yeah. And all of his teammates, like, if Tom Brady's on my team and he wants Wednesday off, like, he's just got this aura about him where it's like, oh, it's Tom Brady. Like, yeah, dude, if he wants Wednesday off, say he shows up Sunday and he knows more than, he's still going to know more than you on the offensive side as a teammate. Like, let that man do what he wants to do. You know, he needs a nice fucking haircut. His hair's getting a little long. I'll tell him where he can go. Sport Clips. Shout out the boys at Sport Clips. This is where Vrabel goes. I think probably Belichick, and now Tom Brady can go there as well. Has it been a while since you last cut your hair, Tom Brady? Has your hair metal band threatened to find a new, is that bassist? Fuck. Bassist? What's a bassist?
Has your hair metal band threatened to find
Hair metal band. Okay, now I'm putting it all together. Metal band. Has your hair metal band threatened to find a new bassist unless you get it dealt with? The last time you looked in the mirror, did you scare yourself, Tom Brady? If you answered yes to any of those questions, Tom, it's time to head over to Sport Clips. Make sure you get the MVP haircut experience while you're there. They've upgraded it with a brand new signature scent that's on a perfectly steamed hot towel for you, Tom. The folks at Sport Clips have been hard at work in the lab crafting the most relaxing scent in the world. Lavender, eucalyptus, chamomile, all perfectly blended to make your MVP experience better than ever, Tom. Head to a Sport Clips and try this MVP scent for yourself, brother. Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair. And that bassist threw me for a loop, boys. It threw me for a loop. What else we got on the docket? We've been answering some stuff. We've been covering some ball.
Do you want to go to fan questions?
I see Jags for real on there. Hey, Peterson, I'm telling you, Peterson, Trevor Lawrence. What sucks is I was like, I was having the Titans and Colts compete. Colts, man, what's that? How do you say that head coach's name? Coach Reich?
Yeah, Frank Reich.
Frank Reich. Yeah, he could be on the. I mean, fuck. I mean, you're dropping 2 games like that. Dear God. I mean, they were down what? You think so? See, I haven't got to watch those games because NFL Plus absolutely put me in a fucking spin zone. Like I thought, not only NFL Plus, like I got, first you got the NFL app, you got the NFL Fantasy and all that shit. Then I'm like, okay, let me get NFL Plus. It seems like I can watch more games or I can follow my games that I want to watch. And then I'm like, okay, now it's NFL Plus Premium. Okay, now we're just fucking throwing on these bonus words at the end of the title. So I get NFL Plus Premium, pay the $80 to $100 to get it. Maybe it's $70, I don't know. No free shoutouts. But yo, this fucking app's just like the radio. It's just like I got a Sirius XM in my pocket. Like it's like I can watch the local games that I can already get on YouTube TV, that I can already get my local channels. And then it's like I'm clicking on all the games and I'm opening up my computer because I'm like, maybe I can just only watch it on my computer. And I go and it literally just says listen to the game.
It's the Versace app.
Yeah, it's the fucking Versace. It's the fucking Versace app, bro. The fucking radio show. Like all you can do is listen to these games. You can watch the replays afterwards. I do love the coach's cut where you can watch the end zone view to where you can like watch tape. However, NFL Plus Premium and you're only giving me the local channels and then I gotta listen to the rest of the games? I know people are telling me that. People are trying to give me the streams, all the different streams, but streams get a little suspect. Like I'm not gonna be sitting there trying to live in the stream world. Jack, I know you gave me a stream too.
I feel like I'm catching a stray bullet right now.
Everybody in my comments, everybody in the comments was giving me streams. I'm like, man, what do we trust here? But it's like NFL Sunday Ticket. Like I'm just trying to find what somebody needs to make the NFL Sunday Ticket on some other fucking platform than DirecTV. Unless you can stream it. Can you stream Sunday Ticket without having DirecTV like bought? Yeah, I'll let you send me a Blasi, but yo, NFL Premium Plus, get fucked, boys.
You can watch the condensed version on YouTube.
They got me. It's all good. It's all good. $80, I'll get that back on the parlay this next week. You know what I'm saying?
No free shoutouts. We can bleep this, but 2H TV is what my dad sent me, and he says that you can stream Sunday Ticket, Red Zone, and much more. It's $10 a month, and it's like a subscription base, but you have to, I think, either have a Fire Stick or Apple TV.
Okay, we're putting people on game right now, especially me.
Yeah,
I don't need to bleep that. Is that illegal?
No. 2H TV.
Well, there we go.
$10 a month,
baby,
and you get Red Zone. Sunday Ticket, and then I would assume you probably get multiple of the actual games that are just on local broadcast.
Shout out your dad, because literally I was like, I'm wanting to watch the Raiders game because that was my bet the bus lock, and I'm like, oh, we're rolling, we're beating the shit out of Arizona. You would question like, is Arizona any good because the week 1 that they had going into week 2, but again, zero panic button. I don't want to go back to that and unpack all that. Zero panic button. The Raiders are fucking good. Max Crosby, he's gonna get it done. Derek Carr. Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfro's going to bounce back. Shout out the boy. Hey, I know you're low right now. You think the world's coming on top of you. Comeback game. get back on track week. Let's answer the internet, boys.
All right.
Let's get to these fan questions. You guys dropped a lot of questions. I do appreciate everybody jumping in the comments and dropping a question. We'll try to get to some of them. I'll shout you guys out on the show. And again, if you're watching right now, listening, wherever you're getting Bussin' with the Boys, make sure you're subscribed. Drop a comment in the comment section. We're solo dolo this week. No interviews. We wanted to catch up with you guys. And then also look forward to Bet the Bus. It's our gambling show. I go over a college slate. However, I'm down bad at the college slate. I would look at fading me every weekend in the college world. Right now, that's all I'm going to say right now. I think I'll come back. I think I'll figure out the game a little bit more. As far as NFL goes, I did have a very good week too, and I look to capitalize and continue that momentum going into week 3. You can catch that on Friday, dropping at 10 o'clock Central Time in the morning for your weekend fun.
Well, following that, it is a good segue into it. Our first question from at bgregs85. Serious question, but as a free agent, are you allowed to bet?
Zero clue. No idea. I think I'm in muddy waters. Last year I looked to bet. Last year I looked to get in the gambling a little bit and partaking in it with the Barstool Sportsbook. And I had to go through a couple lawyers, and somebody at the NFLPA helped me out. I talked to my actual football agent, and then obviously Barstool's legal team as well. And the consensus was like, if you're still actively trying to play, like, I would recommend just staying away, because you just don't really know. It's kind of like unknown if you can or not. Free Calvin Ridley, by the way. If I were to go and be on a team this year, the idea would be, look, I'll sign whatever it takes to show you that I'm not going to bet and gamble and everything in between, yada, yada, yada. However, to answer that question just by itself, I have no clue if you're allowed to. And to answer, so why are you doing it this year if you were looking to play last year and you decided to opt out of doing it? Look, I think every year I get more and more kind of out the door with playing ball. Like to where the podcast is at, to where Bussin' with the Boys is at. Our partnership with Barstool right now, like everything going on, like at the end of the day, I would make, last year I turned down, who offered me at the beginning of the year? The Panthers offered me at training camp. They wanted training camp. I turned that down, and there wasn't a whole lot of movement during training camp last year. I want to say maybe the Panthers they might have came twice after somebody got hurt, or they traded Denzel Perryman away. And so I had an option with the Panthers. I turned that down because, again, it's at this point, it's salvaging your body as much as possible. At the end of the day, look, the boy just turned 33 years old. Like the fact that I can sit here and talk about playing in the NFL at 33 as an undrafted cat and everything else, like I can't believe that I've played this long. I mean, I can believe it, but I can't believe. Does that make sense? Like in the beginning, the goal was to, get me on the practice squad. I'll try and finesse the practice squad for a couple of years just to get a little jump start on the bank account a little bit, like $100,000. And then you realize you can make the team, and then it's like, all right, I want to make the team. And then you want to try and hit the average career, which is 3.5 years in the NFL. You want to try and get 3 years and get the pension in the NFL. And then it's all right, I want to get a second contract. And then it's like, all right, I want to get, 7 years. And then by that time, it's just kind of year after year after that. And then we came out with Bussin' with the Boys in 2019. And it's like, how sick would it be to juggle, when you stand up the podcast, you don't know if you're playing yourself out of the league, being this vocal and cussing and telling the stories that we tell, and all the stuff that we do that we don't really edit out at times. Like maybe I'll play myself out of the league. I could be playing myself out of the league because I was a free agent at that time. And then that's when I went to the Raiders the first time. So, how sick is it that we're juggling podcasting and an NFL and playing in the NFL? Like McAfee retired to go do podcasting. I want to say maybe AJ Hawk might have had a small podcast that he started before he joined fully the Pat McAfee show once he retired. But it's hard to figure out. Guys don't podcast and actively play, unless you do it in the off season, like Trust Level. Shout out to them. I think they got a nice product. But that's something that they do in the off season, then they roll it out during the season. Or you just podcast in the off season, you don't do it in season, because it's very like when you're playing ball, you're focused on playing ball, because the work that's put in that building, you don't want to disrespect the work that's being put in the building, and you don't want to be a distraction. And then I think year over year, since we started Bussin' with the Boys, we partnered with Barstool. You start to make money. You start to like do all these things. And I think every player's fear when retiring and not playing football anymore is that your identity has been wrapped up in a sport for the entirety of your life. Your off season's always figured out. You're always thinking about the next football season and how you can get better. You're doing all these things to where your identity is wrapped up in playing ball. And I know I've hit on this in the past before, but since we're kind of talking about year 10 and everything else with gambling and all that shit, you get to where your biggest fear is like, what am I going to do with life after ball? And now that we've been doing Bussin' with the Boys, like this is something that I like wake up and I think about all day long. Like even when I was in the building playing football, I would think about, hey, are we getting this vlog dropped? Hey, are we doing this? Or, how can we parlay this this next week? Or how are we going to figure out the next episode? And I found something that I love just as much as it sparked me, right? Just as much as like playing ball and studying and preparing every week. And back when I had, I know we can joke about me having my heyday and still being in my prime at 33 years old. But back when I was like in my heyday with playing ball at Washington and then trying to like get back in the starting lineup for Tennessee and the Raiders those first couple of years, then it's like football is like the fucking best because you've always wanted to be an NFL player your whole life. Now that I found something that I Bussin', each year I've gotten a little bit more out the door because I found something that has established me now off of the field, which is ultimately what every player's fear is when playing ball, especially when you're about to be done playing. I think when we did stand up the pod, there's that part of me thinking like I am on my back nine. I don't know if I'll get to be a starter again or play, since with the Titans, I didn't get to play that year. And so I didn't want to be that fucking grinder that was on a 90-man roster that had to make a 53-man roster, because I felt like I had put in the work to have a resume to show that like, yo, this is a guy who's on our 53-man roster no matter what. So I was kind of over that. And every year it's been like, okay, how can I avoid training camp, get on right before the season starts, because then I get the full salary. Last year it was, and then with the Titans, I got on with the Titans. And then I got the double dip because I got cut, then got brought back on. Then last year, it was I don't want to do training camp at all because I wanted to do the podcast. It was way more important to me now to focus on the transition of ball, because my career after ball is going to last a lot longer than my career playing ball. So it was important to not do this stuff last year so that way we could do our vlogs, we could do our pods, because Taylor he was coming back from his ACL. It was super important that he had to play, kind of limit distractions and everything else. So it's important to me to make sure we were taken care of throughout the entirety of the season until I went to Vegas and played. Got to go to Vegas the last 5 weeks. And again, it's like, this year going into it, there was zero part of me that was going to play for anybody in OTAs, training camp, the Falcons. I would talk with Coach Smith and he would have feelers out like, hey, when would you want to come in if you did want to play? And there was no part of me that wanted to play in training camp. Outside of that, there hasn't been a whole lot. Like, I never know how serious Bisaccia is like, hey, are you in shape and can you cover a punt? And like now we've played so much into the bit of like joking and I'm ready to go right now, like yada yada yada. Like push come to shove, and we're at the end of the year and somebody had a call and they were like, hey, you just got to stop gambling and we want you. We need a body. We need somebody to cover a punt and play special teams at the end of the year. Playoff Willie's alive. Because we've done our work with Bussin' with the Boys during the football season. And now a team knows they're like, oh yeah, I still got to do this because contractually we're kind of obligated. And not only that, but this is more important to me now than playing football. So that's kind of my spiel on year 10. I don't know. Was there anything I'm not answering?
Well, someone else came in. At I'm Skelter asked, would you give up the possibility of a year 10 to take an assistant coaching job?
Short answer, no. But what I'm going to talk to now is when I was playing ball, I wanted nothing more than to coach football when I got done. Like I've always wanted to coach football. When I went on my recruiting visits, I would ask Bo Pelini, I would ask any head coach any coach that I sat with when getting recruited, what degree would you advise me to go into? Because ultimately I want to coach when I'm done playing. Like I love fucking the X's and O's and balls. I love the strategy. I love all of it. I love all the guys working in unison to make a play happen. To me, that was my that was my pro. That was my thing. That was my edge in the league, is playing from the neck up. Like, I knew I didn't, they always joke on me. You never saw your boy on punt return because I didn't have the longest arms to block guys and hold people up. And on kick return, I'd mostly be in double teams because, again, the arms thing. Like, I would have to throw my head into guys and offensive linemen faster and more versus using my hands because, again, linemen are way bigger than me. So, like, the tangibles, right? I knew, like, where I had to find my edge was playing, like, from my IQ level, from, like, being a step quicker, like, winning before the play starts, winning it within the first second of the play. Because if you're somebody who can win on the back end of the play, like, those guys, those are the 1%ers that are playing and can play for as long as they want. They need to figure out winning at the snap, pre-snap, and during the snap. But you get judged a lot in the scouting world of how you can win throughout the entirety of the snap. But I don't know. I don't even know what tangent I was. Oh, yeah, playing from the neck up. But I've always loved the idea of coaching. Now that I have Bussin' with the Boys, again, like, the stress in the world that you have to live in the high-performance world of football, that is football, in the coaching world of, getting fired and moving your family and putting in the long hours all the way till midnight. Listen, if I was on my own, I love that type of shit. I love the war room attitude. I love, like, being in the fucking suck with the boys and figuring out, hey, how are we going to take our 0-2 team this week? Or, yeah, we lost this week and everybody's fucking saying, fuck you, we suck and everything else. How are we going to get out of this and throw the middle finger to everybody else? Like, I love I love that itch of it all. But with the family and everything else, like, we've established ourselves in the podcasting world to where it's given that option to not coach. And I would love to coach one day, but I would love to do it knowing that, like, I just want to do it. My wife's fully supportive of me. I love being a dad. Like, I see the misses that you have in the coaching world, even as a player too. Like, these guys who have kids, players are just not around. You got to give so much to football that you miss out on everything else. And I just think there's a lot of other shit happening to where to answer that question, no, I would not take a coaching job. Matter of fact, your boy is getting looked at. Would you come coach at the university as an assistant, some assistant role at Tennessee? And I've gotten feelers, like, all of my coaches that I've known, they all say, Basaccio, when I got done and he cut me the second time, the first time he cut me last year on the Raiders, the minute you are done playing ball and you don't want to do your Johnny Carson radio show bullshit and you want to coach, call me. LaFleur's same, like, all my relationships that I've had in the coaching world, it's all, whenever you get done, fucking call them. Like, I would love to coach. It's just, dude, this is such a fucking good gig right now, and I have so much fun doing it. To where, no, I would not leave or sacrifice a year 10. I wouldn't leave Bussin' with the Boys to coach. Not now anyway. Anything can change. Anything can fucking happen.
Nice. We talked about it earlier, just Nebraska, but from Askerberg on Twitter, realistic timeline for Nebraska to compete in the Big Ten again.
Love that question. We're back this week. I'm just kidding. It's gonna take time. Like, a new coach who comes in, the story you want to look at right now is Dan Campbell with the Lions. It's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a second. It's gonna take a season, maybe two. But you want, culturally, in the foundation being built to where you cut out the bullshit. You have somebody that's 100% all ball, 100% all the boys. You have the right staff in place because, again, Nebraska has the resources to support anybody who comes in. Recruiting's got to happen a little bit. However, I do think there's some talent. There's some at Nebraska. You need depth. You need less white guys on the football field. Just say that. I mean, it's true. But you need more depth. You need more you need better. You just need more talent. You need more depth. And again, the biggest focus is gotta be on recruiting and straight fucking culture, boys, because that ultimately is what's gonna end up winning you games, especially when you're in a pinch, when you're in a close game, when shit's hitting the fan. You default to your fundamentals, and that is all fucking culture. Anything else? Do what? Should I hit this before I? Okay.
Yeah. Because then we have this, and then we have one more, but it's the Roback question. What do you want to do for the Roback question? Do you want to do the Game of Thrones ask?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. Hello Fresh. Have a packed schedule this fall and you can't find time to cook for yourself, shop for yourself, or anything in between? HelloFresh has meals covered with a weekly selection of 30 plus recipes and 70 plus convenience items, all delivered to your door. Now more than ever, we're all looking for ways to save money. In fact, HelloFresh is 25% less expensive than takeout and is even cheaper than grocery shopping. Enjoy the freshest fall flavors. Every HelloFresh recipe includes ripe, just picked produce that travels from the farm to your door in less than a week. HelloFresh works with your schedule. Plans are flexible and you can change your meal preferences, update your delivery day, and even change your address with just a few taps on the HelloFresh app. I'm back in the HelloFresh game because obviously they're a sponsor of the show and they now ship meals. But when your boy and my now wife, when we were back in Germantown back in 2018, my first year on the Titans, and we lived in Germantown in that townhouse, HelloFresh every night. We'd just get it shipped and Charlie would cook it up and everything else. And HelloFresh was a game changer for me personally because again, it's all fresh, high quality ingredients for obviously optimal performance. But yeah, I love HelloFresh. Go to HelloFresh.com/Bussin65 and use code Bussin65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Listen, I'm going to say that again because Bussin65 threw me off first. Like, why are we doing a Bussin65 code? Go to HelloFresh.com/Bussin65 and use code BUSSIN65 for 65% off plus free shipping. That's a fucking deal. That's a JP Hove deal of the week. That's a deal of the week. All right, let's get into some more pod talk. What we got going? What do you need? You need to get out, JP?
All
right, make sure is the camera focusing on him?
Go ahead, take a look, Will.
I'm looking. What you got to do, man? You could have easily, this show is not that serious.
Clearly.
like you could have just walked out the front door up here, bro. I guess I could do a call to action right now. Look, boys, if you've enjoyed this episode, I know we're rolling solo dolo. Because I know there's some fucking ride or dies out there, and there's a cloth that we have a base that's cut from that enjoys any pod that we're rolling out, whether it's just the boys. Some people might prefer when it's just the boys. I know I don't have the big dog on. I know we don't have an interview for you guys. But I hope you're fucking loving this episode. I've enjoyed talking to you guys. Leave a comment. Leave a fucking high vibe comment. We're always here for the vibes. Hack the algorithm. Get in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed everywhere. Again, Bet the Bus this Friday, 10 a.m. Central Time. Come watch the boy absolutely sling it with the weekend bets. Is this officially, we can't do, what else do we have, Jack? Any other questions that we can answer out there?
There was a handful. Talk about the Raiders. Will the Raiders turn around? What do we see their record being given their start?
Is there anything outside of anything outside all the football talk? Because I feel like I gave my heart and soul to all that.
I feel like we've hit a lot of football talk. We want to hit this one, more of just kind of a personal question. Does ketchup belong on hot dogs? And should a steak ever be cooked well done?
Does ketchup belong on hot dogs? Ketchup has a place for hot dogs. Absolutely.
It's like a northern thing. Like Northerners, if you get ketchup on a hot dog, it's a big no-no. But I don't get that. I always grew up with a hot dog. Nice ketchup.
Jack, you know how it is, brother. There's culture, right? Like, you want to be a part of something that's bigger than you. When you grow up and you learn that, hey, we don't put ketchup on hot dogs, that's for pussies. And that's like one of the first things that you kind of hear. And we do mustard, we do sauerkraut, we do all these other things. And then you get to a place where you go off to college and you meet somebody from a different location than you. And then you're just going toes in the middle of the hallway or the middle of the classroom or the middle of the locker room about how you eat a hot dog. There's pride in being from somewhere. It's like me, I posted that photo of when I do the chili with peanut butter sandwiches. We can talk about that, JP. Great turnout to the birthday party, by the way. That was so funny. Yeah, we can talk about that. But it's like I'm ready to take on whatever the fuck happens when people talk about that sounds disgusting. Peanut butter sandwiches dipped in chili. Like, JP can vouch. My dad was sitting there and he goes, "Oh, you've never heard of peanut butter sandwiches dipped in chili?" He's like, and then he literally said verbatim what I've said on the pod, but he continues to say, "Oh, we used to have this like growing up. You know, every week, once a week, you would have peanut butter sandwiches, and they'd put some in that peanut butter." I told him it's honey. I'm like, to sweeten it up. I'm like, Dad, that's honey. Like, no shit.
Bro.
He found out however many years later, decades later, that they mix honey with the peanut butter, but they dip it. He's like, "Oh yeah, we dip it in chili." And JP tried it. JP, I'll let you have the floor and talk about.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely solid. Like, Will has clearly gassed it up a lot, and it lived up to how he gassed it up.
Okay, well, why do you got to do it? Like, I feel like you kind of backhanded that and also said a compliment.
No, I'm saying like it wasn't like I wasn't wowed.
You said, hang on, brother. I'll lower my voice because I don't want a repeat of Shoreham, Vermont, when we were in Whistle Pig talking about beach pies or steak pie, because I think we're on the same team.
Yeah, we are.
But I do want to say, in the same breath, you said Will gasses it up so high. However, you didn't say however, and you also said it lived up to him gassing it up.
Yeah.
So you're saying it lived up to the hype, but you're also saying it didn't wow me. And you said, I said, "Hey, what do you think?" Mind you, it was on sourdough bread. It wasn't on this nice, sweet, soft bread. You know that's different.
That actually does play a huge factor in it.
But for you to still say, you eat, I'm like, "Hey, what you think?" And you go, "It's better than I thought it was going to be." You said you weren't wowed?
Yeah, I mean, wowed is just big time.
You're saying in your situation, you would take it upon yourself. You would initiate saying, "Hey, this is fucking awesome."
No, I wouldn't say this is awesome. It was really good, but like, it's not something that I'm gonna, like, I won't tell my friends, like, you guys have to try this. But I mean, I would encourage them.
How about this? Can we come to a compromise here for people that say that think it's just asinine, that combination? Can you just say, "Hey, yo, it's not bad like you think. It actually works. It's just, you know, I probably eat my chili differently."
1000%.
Okay.
But not on sourdough bread.
Yeah. That was the only bread we had.
No, but it was, yeah, it's way better than I thought it was going to be. Because I was one of those people that was like a hater.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what are you doing with peanut butter and chili? Had it? That's a meal.
Yeah.
That can be a family meal.
Yeah. And to answer the second part of that question, no way, steak should never be cooked well done. And I was thinking about it once you said that. Like, okay, what about shitty steak? Do you still cook it well? Like, no. Like, you want to give it the best chance possible to win. People who get their steaks well done, they don't get it. They grew up thinking that if there's red in the chicken, it can make you sick. That must mean if there's red in the steak, it can make you sick. We're talking chicken and beef, you dumb motherfucker. Like, you got to give the beef the best chance possible. When you're eating steak, I don't care what cut it is. You have to get at least medium. I'm medium rare. I like mine a little more like, "Hey, go knock that thing out in the backyard right now and we'll figure it out, bring it in here." But you better get that thing at least medium. Other than that, like, what are you fucking doing?
Have you ever heard of medium rare plus?
I have.
I just learned about that.
But does medium rare plus go towards more rare or more
It goes
medium?
in between medium rare and medium.
Okay, so that's game. Listen,
game.
if you don't want to take a big leap to go to from medium to medium rare, tell them you want medium rare plus.
If you like legitimately order a steak well done at a restaurant, I know we say this phrase joking a lot, but I'm so fucking serious when I say it. You cannot be trusted with anything. Like, even with the smallest of responsibilities, you're off the table for me. You're out of my life, and I don't want to talk to you anymore because it's like chewing on rubber. Like, you need some color in that meat. Like,
I'm with you. I agree with.
Hey, yo.
You need some color in that meat, brother.
you need some.
And by the fucking way, Fido's. I used to love Fido's down in Hillsborough Village in Nashville. Used to love it. People would come in and be like, "Hey, where should we go for breakfast or brunch or something like that?" I'll say, "Yo, go to Fido's. Fido's rips." I went to Fido's last week, ordered for two, over $100. I'm talking a steak scramble, which they don't even call it that anymore. 2 steak scrambles and 2 lattes, over $100 fucking dollars.
What?
Yes, bro. It's called a Fido Scramble. Now you add steak to it. So you're paying $11 or $12 for a Fido Scramble. Add steak is $9 extra fucking dollars. And that motherfucker was well done.
Arrest them.
And with it, they're like, "Do you want? We have this green sauce. You know those 2 little silver metal, like little mini bowls. What are those
Don't
called?
tell me what you're about to say, bro.
Brother. Get 2 of those for each plate because the sauce was rips. It's got a nice heat to it. It's a good meal outside of the fucking well done steak. That's horseshit. And they charge $4 a pop.
$4 for a cup of sauce?
A small cup, not even like at least put in a fucking jar and to where you can take it home and use it if it's that good.
America.
What did he say?
He said, Joe Biden's America.
Bro, I'm telling you. Because they got a new chef in. Apparently it's a new chef. Okay, he cooks his steaks well done. And he redid the menu because it used to be called a steak scramble. You would say steak scramble. It was written on the menu, STEAK scramble. But now they're like, oh, we do it differently now. Now you get a Fido scramble and you can add a protein or you can add something to it. You look, steak, $9.
How much was the initial dish if 2 of them put you over almost 100? Minus
Okay,
the
so
lattes?
let's do the math here. You're talking
Like, how much is just the Fido
so I got a Fido scramble. I think it's 11 or 12. Steak, add 9. Let's just say that's $20. I think I got avocado. I think I added avocado. And you know how people are these days. They're fucking selling avocado out there for like $8 for half a goddamn slice. Avocado and then 2 sauces, bro.
The sauce pisses me off so much.
So if you're talking Fido scramble, add steak, 2 sauces alone, you're looking at $30. You add an avocado to that or bacon. Maybe I added bacon. You're looking at that's north of $40 probably. The way they're selling this fucking bacon and avocado, and the bacon wasn't even like that. You better give me a thick cut bacon.
A couple pieces too.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking over $40, and then the lattes. I'm assuming those are they might have ran me around $8, dude. It was over $100. My friend paid for it, and I felt bad. I Venmoed him $50. I was like, my man, I know it was my turn to get the meal today, but let me get my portion at least.
Damn.
Bro,
So
yes.
we're never going back there.
Fido's dead to me until they can turn this around. Hopefully somebody hears this on the podcast and can get it to him because they used to hook it up. Taylor and I would go and eat there and then they would hook up extra stuff, throw a gift card or something. Like Fido was like the boy. They were part of the boys. And I truly felt hurt and disrespected. North of $100 for a breakfast fucking meal. 2 meals, 2 lattes, over $100. I don't know, man. There's a lot of weird shit going on right now. Spooktober's coming. I think we can get fired up about Spooktober. Look, our teas are out. We've sold north of a few hundred already. People are buying into the spook. JP, if you can throw up the graphics right here to where the shirts are being shown.
Got you.
Go buy the shirts, man. And we also got a little dad hat that says Spooktober in like the Goosebumps font. Fire. But you get a whole little fit. The Spooktober vibes are up. Spooktober vibes are up. Oh, there you go. What we're going to do our shout out, no free shout out of the week. And then we're going to do our tier talk. And the tier talk's going to be best tailgate / watch party food from the hip. We're going to not using a list, not using reference. And then we'll get to our rowback question of the day, our final rowback question of the day. Do you got that rowback question teed up?
Yeah, would you want to do the Game of Thrones one?
That's fine. Yeah, don't want to tease them.
I don't think they
Just continue to watch the episode if you want to check out what this question is going to be.
Jesus, good.
All right. Now for one of our favorite segments of the week, shout out, no free shout out, segment of the week. G, kick us off, brother. We've been on a terror with these fucking shout outs.
Y'all don't want me to go first because mine's about to hit. I know all of y'all follow me on Twitter, so you probably saw me hint at this. But my shout out of the week is when a song gets you right in your feels. It can be good, it can be sad, it can be angry. Doesn't matter what the emotion is, but it's when a song just strikes right in the heart. And I know we've all been there. So that's my shout out. No free shout out of the week. The certain song last week.
Yeah, go ahead. Say what the song was last week because you got brought to tears. I think you got something like that. You got to speak your
The
truth.
certain
brother.
song last week, which I'm not like a huge country music fan, but this Morgan Wallen song, Thought You Should Know, it got me.
Apparently buckled him.
Hey,
My man teared up.
I was listening to it. I was like, I got to turn this off. I'm about to go in the gym. I can't be crying.
Oh, you were in the driveway, or you were in the parking lot about to go into the gym?
I listened to it like 5 times in a row. It was good. And again, I'm not a country music fan, but hey,
I feel you
It
on the
got me in
vibe
the
though.
achy
When a
break
song
your
hits
heart.
when a song hits you just right, like it's different.
yeah, it could be like a hype song, and you just get that grin, kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
this is
Oh,
right.
I'm about to go off in this car ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
J Hove, bless us.
Mine. Somebody brought this to my attention on Twitter, but I had to make it a little bit different. My shout out, no free shout out of the week goes to the bottom line, or depending where you grew up, the sidebar of the local news station, because in the wintertime specifically, that is where you would find out if you had a snow day from school or a 2-hour delay, which is just unbelievable. So my shout out, no free shout out, goes to the blurry cameras and the bottom line of the local news station.
Kids nowadays get to see it on Twitter. I would assume it's the same feeling.
Maybe.
But
Probably not.
there's nothing like you and the squad standing in the living room looking at the little chart where, you know, they're outlining the counties, the tickers going underneath, and you see your school pop up, canceled.
And nothing even more devastating than seeing that your school was in. I mean, it was like the first like real thought of depression you had as a child. You're just like you're just ready to
You
die.
run to the window and look outside, be like, man, what are we talking about right now?
I can't go to school in this.
Yeah, I can't do this. That's a good one. That's a good one, bro.
Yeah, I love that one. Mine was pretty similar to G's, but on a different thing. So I'm gonna shift. And I know we talked about the Vols. I'm gonna be missing this weekend. Very upset about it. But my shout out, no free shout out, goes to short weeks. Garrett and I will be flying out on Thursday to Lake Tahoe. And when you're sitting on a Monday, you're like, oh wow, like that's just a couple sleeps away. Like we're almost done with this week already, and it's only Monday, but we're still grinding through it. But it gives you a little bit of extra added motivation, and you're just like, hell yeah, like this week's it's gonna zoom by. And we're going to go to a beautiful place. Shout out to Chase Smith and Jordan Goshawk on their beautiful marriage that will be official come Saturday, hopefully with a Vols win as well. But yeah, shout out to the short weeks.
I love that. My head's kind of everywhere on a shout out, but I'm gonna shout out, no free shout out, on when you first figured out that a cup.
What is happening?
A cup would heighten the volume of the music playing from your phone. I feel like when you learn that for the first time, you're by yourself, and I don't know about you guys, but to me, I thought I cracked something where I was going to put everybody on that kind of game. And then ultimately you realize like everybody kind of knows it. However, the first time you learn it, you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to set it off at this next little party if we don't have like a speaker going on. Or whether
a horrible party.
Hey, hang on. Or just, I was going to say a casual little get together, like set off the vibe a little bit. Cause I do parties a little like, yo, what a chic party.
Hey, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to put my phone in this cup.
But that's my shout out, no free shout out. When you first learned how a cup heightened the volume of the music you played from your phone.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Thanks. I thought I was really sinking quick. When I said cup.
Yeah, when you go, when I first learned about a cup, we go, okay, where is this going?
All right, tier talk. Our tier talk is best tailgate / watch party food. Because tailgate, I get it. I haven't gotten to partake in a lot of tailgates, but also watch parties. I think they're kind of the same vibe. Like you're having people over, but best tailgate and watch party food. I'm gonna go last, boys.
Our God tier.
Oh, our God tier. Well, I think we've all unanimously agreed that what Gary? Fuck you, dude. Unanimously agreed. I'm on a tear with these words today. That wings are God tier. Moment of silence for wings being God tier. Let's get to it, boys. Who wants to go first? And is any computer? You got stuff pulled up on your computer?
You see what I see.
Okay. All right. All right. G, go ahead. Tier 3. Tier 3. You work your way up.
We each get 3.
Yeah.
All right, tier 3 for me is gonna be jalapeno ranch dip.
Are we passing it around on all of them?
No, you got to do all 3.
All 3?
Yeah.
Tier 2. Meatballs. In the crock pot, you know, that shit's fire.
The 3 ingredient.
Yeah.
Meatballs.
All right, tier 1. Buffalo chicken dip. Next.
I love that. I fucking love that because I got it.
That means he didn't say any of yours.
What's up? No, he did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I love the buffalo chicken dip.
I know.
Big vibe.
That is
Big vibe.
That is in mine, but I feel like I needed to pick a different one now.
I hate that tier talk. I hate that tier talks went that way because you do feel pressure of like, damn, now it's gonna seem like I'm dick riding if I pick. If I pick what he picked, like, oh, way to piggyback, Will.
I know I missed some.
Yeah, this is tough without a freaking. All right. My tier 3 will go to like the Hawaiian rolls, ham and cheese, like sliders.
Fire.
Massive fan of those. Tier 2 will be bacon wrapped jalapenos.
Hang on.
Stuff.
Jalapeno poppers.
Yeah, stuff with cheese.
Yeah. Because I love that.
Dude,
I love that.
that should be my tier 1.
More blues load. He's about to say a weak tier 1.
I know, dude. Oh no. My tier 1. Hey, my tier 1 is
pull off a Lenny. Hey, pull off a Lenny.
Hey, oh yeah. My tier 1 is the Leonard Fournette. I don't have a tier 1.
Oh, really?
I can't think of one right
Sometimes you gotta rip the fucking cord. You gotta pull the chute.
Yeah.
Jump out of the plane.
now. That's the problem.
He said, damn, that shit was my tier 1.
My tier 3 might be a little controversial because it's not a food. But when you're at like a nice, well done tailgate, whether it's some girls or some of the moms, they bring like a really, like usually it's for the season, like depending on what time of year it is, but like a really good cocktail mix. Like they'll bring like a big jug of like a really nice drink. And I'm not like a huge like mixed drink guy. Like I like beer or like tequila soda. But when you see that and it's usually like some beautiful fluorescent color, you're like, oh, I'm going to have a cup of that. Whether it's some kind of nice, you know, lemonade or like a fall cider, that should be hidden. So tier 3 is that like, what's the word I'm looking for? Can I get some help? Like just like a seasonal drink.
I think the word is canceled because I think we should strip you of your tier talk right now.
Why?
Because you said that shit be hitting, don't mean it like gets on the list. You're doing a drink. We said food.
I thought it was tailgate snacks and stuff.
Come on, don't do that. Hey, don't.
Is this not part of it?
I know you're feeling. Hey, this is where you gotta identify.
I am going to stand on this hill, and I know that my people will back me up when they have that fall cider in their cup, and it's about
that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying disqualification.
DQ. No, then give me an honorable mention, and I'll fire off 3 right now.
Because we said tailgate / watch party food. We specifically said that, brother. Come on, don't die on that hill of being like we didn't say snacks and stuff.
You did say snacks. We can run the tape.
A drink is not a snack.
It can be
because somebody gave us the idea to do tailgate snacks. So we said tailgate / watch party food.
I did.
Drinks are not snacks.
But what's a good tailgate without a drink?
Bro, you're too focused on the alcohol.
I love what you're doing, and you do a great job of it. You're figuring out a way to stay in the fight.
All right, so my tier 2. Oh. And it's got to be cold weather. It's chili. chili at a good tailgate in a crock pot, whether it's white chicken chili or just classic chili.
That's a good one.
Especially when it's like late November and it's like 40 degrees outside. It's a little like your fingers getting a little cold. You didn't bring the hand warmers.
Yeah.
You get that bowl of chili and it's just like a little personal heating device that it gets in you. It's great. Number one, riding with G, it's got to be undefeated buffalo chicken dip.
I love
Thank
that.
you guys for letting me finish that one out.
Jack also has 2.
Everybody who's watching right now, comment disqualified. Jack's disqualified. And here's what I think we get to do. Let me know if you guys rock with this. But since he botched and he's disqualified, we get to put whatever we want on his list. So he can get shamed. So he can get shamed on social media. And when it comes out, everybody be like, yo, Jack's list sucks.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you think about that?
I'm in for sure.
Love that. We'll think about it afterwards.
Just let me know.
I'll tell you what, you did a hitter that kind of like,
That drink, dude. If it was in the right circumstance, that
Shut
drink
up.
is special.
shut up. yeah, turn him down, mute him.
I will.
Wow, now we're here. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to
That sounded so real.
it did. Jack's doing whatever he can to get back in this game for real. So my tier 3, I do want to give a special shout out, honorable mention to Chili. I thought that was great. We do honorable mentions, G. We do honorable mentions. But Chili's are great. Chili's fire. Chili is fire. With those peanut butter sandwiches. Chili with peanut butter sandwiches. Can I do that?
Sure.
All right.
Your show.
Honorable mention.
It's your birthday.
That's true. Yeah. My tier 3, Little Smokies in a crock pot. My tier 2, bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. Fire. Yes. My tier 1, I'm riding with the buffalo chicken dip. I think that shit is fucking. Jack, put your hand down. Buffalo chicken dip. So to recap, buffalo chicken dip, bacon wrap jalapeno poppers, Little Smokies, honorable mention chili with peanut butter sandwiches. What a fucking tailgate and watch
It's kind of
party.
wild at a tailgate.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Peanut butter sandwich and chili.
But for sure, I think you're right there. I was thinking more that'd be like watch party.
Yeah.
But yeah, at a tailgate,
It is different.
Uh,
Between the two.
Oh, that is.
it is
true.
different. It really is different. Because you got more time to prep. Like you can really go off on a couple dishes.
Tailgate, you want ball styrofoam plate.
Yeah. More beer. Yes.
Y'all don't get drinks
Beer.
at the tailgate. Y'all don't on drinks.
Uh-huh.
Y'all are
The problem, Jack, is we said tailgate and watch party food.
the snacks.
Drinks are not snacks.
Snacks are
And
solid.
what's funny is my man tried throwing in and stuff
Yeah.
when I've never said the and stuff part.
Stuff.
Put it on the tape.
All right. Bring up the rollback thing. This final question is brought to us by Roback. Use code BOYS on roback.com for 20% off your first purchase. RHOBACK.com, code BOYS. They work with the best college athletes in the NCAA. Special shout out to the boy Michael Mayer, who's kind of down a little bit in Notre Dame, and Bijan Robinson, an absolute stud. Willie Anderson, not going to forget the boy at Bama. They also just dropped the new performance joggers. Trust us, use the code BOYS for 20% off roback.com. What is the Roback question, last question of the episode?
It is from one of our Twitter followers. What is his name?
Love how all the boys are getting shout outs.
Oh, this is from our boy Robbie Fox at Robbie Barstool.
Yeah, this is a good
And
question.
The Roback question is, who is the smartest character on House of Dragon?
That is a great question. Have you guys been watching House of Dragon?
I didn't watch this new episode, so if you're going to talk about stuff, I am going to remove myself. I wasn't able to watch it last night. But if you're going to...
4 episodes.
Okay. Can you do one thing for me? Throw up the characters' names. Those are the only things I gotta dial in on. However, I think there's the best thing about Thrones and House of Dragon and all this stuff is there's so many there's so much chess being played, but through 4 episodes, I think that they took out that they made a move. Oh wait.
Okay,
You don't want to hear this. Yeah, you got to remove yourself.
I haven't seen last night's.
No, that's
Well, you saw the 4th episode. You can listen. You can
Are
listen.
we
You can
talking
listen.
about 5? Yeah. Are you talking about the
No, I think
brothel
them
Okay.
cutting the cord with Otto, the hand.
Yeah.
I think he was ultimately the smartest. He was playing the best game of chess that could be played. However, I stand by Rhaenyra being like, she's the only reason he got nipped, because she told her old man like, yo, you're a fucking puppet, because he was all pissed off about her hooking up and potentially, getting after with Daemon. But I think that's tough. Rhaenyra is the smartest to me. Like, she's played that, and she's young. Like, yeah, she convinced the king. She's a female, playing chess in this man's world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you can't downplay that. Like, it's like extra points, extra boosts. There are some smart motherfuckers out there. Otto was playing a hell of a game, and he made a masterful move before he left, and you will obviously see that. So he's still going to be working. Ultimately, I think Otto might be. They banned him. They kicked him out. But I think that's what you needed to have done. You had to take out the smartest player. It's like what, shout out to Robbie, but going off the bar stool, the most dangerous game, like, that's why you got to get Tommy Smokes up from the get-go. Like, they let him hang around. Like, he's going to reveal himself. He ended up winning the game. He's won like every game of Barstool. You got to take out the smartest man, no matter if it's out of respect or not. You gotta do that. Rhaenyra did that with that move by convincing her dad that, you're his fucking puppet. Took a shot to the ego. He let him know, I'm just now figuring out that that's why I put 3 or 4 pups in your belly. Yeah, wild way to say that. But I think Otto, they eliminated Otto, and I stand by Rhaenyra being the smartest, especially in a man's game. She's fucking operating at a high level, not only at a man's game, but being young too. Like, not even being able to sit at the table. So Rhaenyra, Robbie, Rhaenyra. And I would love another shot at being on a Game of Stools or.
Oh yeah.
There's two different throne shows that they have.
They have that new House of Dragon one.
Yeah, with KFC.
Yeah.
That was when we got back from that day at Nebraska. Down bad with the throat, wheeling and dealing with the kid at the house. I couldn't get on how they recap the House of Dragon. I would love to be back on. I would love to get a shot at Redemption to be on there, because I love House of Dragon. I love the ops that are being played. But anyway, that is Bussin' with the Boys. Again, subscribe to us everywhere. Drop comments. All the fun stuff, boys. Glad you stuck around. You stuck around the entire time. Fucking, we will see you at the University of Tennessee, Florida at Tennessee. Come say what's up to the boys. We'll be there at the college football show in action. What else do we have coming out? Spooktober merch. Go buy it. The boys merch. Be on the lookout. We're coming out with new colorways. We're coming out with new lightning tees for different teams. Tailgate. Yeah, fuck. Raiders tailgate. Raiders Titans tailgate this Sunday. That's going to be a fucking movie. That's going to be a movie. That's going to be massive. Are you guys aren't back then.
Stray bullet. I
Oh, wow. Jack and G will not be there. But at Acme Feed and Seed, yeah. Acme Feed and Seed, Sunday, 2 hours before the game. I think that's it's a noon game, so 10 a.m.
Yeah.
We'll be fucking getting after it. Raiders fans, Titans fans.
We'll see where you stand.
We'll see where I stand. We will see where I stand this weekend. But appreciate you guys. Love you. Big hugs, tiny kisses, always and forever for the boys.